Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Rivo's hub here in Poole. We are here today for the Driven 24/7 car meet, and look at all the selection we've got. Let's go and check out all the cars here today. Let's start off this show walk around then with the Seat Ibiza Cupra. Obviously the sporty version of the Seat Ibiza. It's got some fancy bits on it, made by Aero Elite. Have a little sporty badge on there. A lot of the wheels on this. Very sporty looking. What's the next one? Fiat 500, you've seen this one plenty of times. Genovese 1.2 Lounge. Let's write that down today. And I've brought my Panda 100 HP as well. All decked up, show plate on. Fuel power little cards, I guess they are. Leaflets, cards, whatever. They've got information on the back if I can actually get one. Because look, we have these now and we can have them at shows. Check out our little corner of the internet to see more hashtag car-based content. All the info you need to know. Genevieve's got her little fuel power card for the car here. We've got a show plate made up as well. Of course with the car's name on it. This little Mini here is a Studio 2 with basically parts from Minis of all ages. Got bits from Minis from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. This is from a later Mini Cooper. This belongs to Matt Pink, who you've seen driving away in his Toyota Paseo in the last social we went to of Joseph Lloyd's. Runs the West Country Minis Club, or at least is part of the team that runs it. So naturally, a good egg in my book, because he likes minis. Who doesn't like a Mini? Fiat 131. Fiat Abarth, sporty version. It says on a number plate checker app that Maura Fiore Sport. But yes, more commonly known as the Fiat 131. These things are exceptionally rare, obviously in the best colour, but look, huge chunky rear tyres. Just look at them. Crazy width. Look in there. Roll cage, fire extinguisher. And the smell, I know you can't smell it, viewers, but it is very satisfying. 5-speed gearbox and it's manual. I bet this thing's very fun to check around on the country lane. Rally type flaps. Look at that. Fiesta Mark 5, I want to say, with this Mark 6. Mark 6, definitely Mark 6. Mark 5 was a continuation of the Mark 4, wasn't it, basically? Have a look in this. Quite a nice looking little car this actually. Never used to be a fan of this shape of Fiesta, but coming around to them more and more as time goes by. Next to this one of course is its more sporty brother, the ST. Got a Duratec engine in here, I think it's a 1.6. Due to somewhere in the region of about 150 horsepower standard. Let's have a look around in here. Liking the seats actually, look at those. Yes, of course, these things, very popular little cars here in the UK. I don't know how well they sold abroad, but these things used to be absolutely everywhere, but these days, not so much. 2005. Let's have a little look around the back of the car. Obviously, you got the big spoiler. Huge rear diffuser. Over here you've got two Chevrolet Silverados. 6.2 litre diesel on this one. So I imagine a very, very torquey beast. Looks like a tow ball right in the middle of the loading bed. Still surprised me just how much space you get in the back of an American pickup truck. Obviously used to seeing much smaller vehicles here in the UK, because of course much narrower roads. But this is something else. Also, I've just figured it out. That tow ball there, I imagine, is used for transporting truck trailers and the like, because of course you've got one down there should be for smaller type cargo trailers, whereas this one, no, big old truck thing. Driven 24/7's Avensis SR. We've seen this as well at the Lloyd Vehicle Consulting Social. It's a 2 litre, fairly recently purchased. Have a look inside of it, because I don't think the day was quite as nice when we were at the Lloyd Vehicle Consulting Social. Like the weather-wise, I mean, obviously. The meet itself was brilliant, but yeah, it's lovely sunny skies down here in Poole. And so lots of people got their windows open, which gives a good chance to have a look inside. It's been years since I've had a look inside one of these cars. It's all coming back to me now, but many memories of being in the back of one of these with friends when I was much younger. By which I mean primary school age, so don't get any ideas. Honda Accord SE. It's a 1.8 injection. This from August Motors. Is this one from August Motors as well? Hendy and Lennox it says on this. Just have a quick look. Can't see. Got a show plate on them. Never mind. But yes, both these cars owned by Driven 24/7. Look at the fabric though. The pattern. Aftermarket Kenwood stereo, which I imagine gives probably a greater sound than the original would ever have given. Got some Volkswagen camper type bits here. Front end, rear end. The rear end of a Volkswagen Kübelwagen, sold as the Trekker over here, and in America sold as the Thing. So can you imagine going into the dealership in America and saying, hello, I'd like a Thing, please. So apparently they weren't great sellers over there, but that might be the answer as to why. Who knows? But yes, of course, based very heavily on the Volkswagen Beetle platform with this rear engine, probably, I think, actually used Beetle engines. Essentially it was a Beetle, but with a different body on it. Next up, this Escort 1.6 gear. It's a Mark III C reg, so late 80s. Or mid to late 80s even. Single speaker in the front. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Love an older Ford. Of course, the old hubcaps. You got the smell as well of old fuel. Gear badge. This one's been very well kept. Fiat Panda 45S VIP. Less than 40,000 miles and 903cc engine. It's got a 5-speed gearbox for a car of this era. That's impressive. Just have a look in there. It's been to Pandas to Pandino, or Panda Pandino. I'm going to try that again. Panda a Pandino. There we go. I'm not Italian at all. There's some words I can say, but not all. Little bonnet vent. I think the engine in this harks back to the original Fiat 600. Next up, the second 100 HP Panda of the day. Driven 24/7's dad has actually bought this car fairly recently as an MOT fail for about £750. And obviously it's here, so now it's got an MOT, so he's clearly worked his magic and it works. In fact, he does own this Panda here as well as this one. The one thing that really surprises me is you look at usual classics compared to their modern counterparts and you think, oh yeah, the classic looks tiny, but I think this is the first time I've seen a classic Panda next to a more modern Fiat Panda in the flesh, basically, rather than in photos. And apart from the classical one being a bit shorter and a bit narrower, there's really not a lot of difference in size, actually. That really surprises me. But yeah, love a classic Panda. I would really like to give one a try one day, just to see how different it is compared to the more modern 169 generation of the 312. The 312 generation is the one after this. I would quite like to give one of those a try as well. Hopefully one day we can make something happen with one of those. Up here, we had a look at this last time we were here. Very rare Volkswagen. Here at Rivo Sub, they really do quite like their Volkswagen cars. Let's have a look around here. Just get a bit of an idea. Just catch it on this roof. I'm not quite sure what this is from. But yeah, rotten arches, needs quite a lot of work. In fact, it's got no floor in the boot anymore. It's all gone. But yeah, this could do with a bit of work, but I wouldn't say it's unsalvageable. I think it needs a lot of work. In fact, it hasn't even got an engine in at the minute, so yes, it is a lot of work. but I think it's a salvageable vehicle. Got a Cheyenne 585, it says, made by Pioneer Caravans. Turbo intercooled. I think it's based on a Volkswagen T4. Looks like it. This vehicle is for sale, 15,000 of your pounds, or nearest offer. Maybe this is what me and Genevieve should have got instead of our little Trident companion. Could have pulled the Mini behind this rather than have the Mini pull the Caravan. Of course, it'll be diesel powered. There's your LPG door. That's how you get in and out of it. That's a little pull-out canopy up the top there. This vehicle's been fitted with an alarm. It is alarmed. There's Joseph Lloyd, and here is his Rover 45 V6. We've had a walk around of this in the past. Hopefully doing a proper review on it at some point in the not too distant future. So need to organise the time to do that.
Indeed we do, Mr. Bell.
Indeed we do. But yes, it's 24 valve quad cam. There's your dipstick right at the front. Also behind the camera. That's me, by the way. Alternator right on the top of the engine, so at least that's fairly easy access. Washer fluid. If we have a look inside there, leather interior, automatic gearbox. Loving the old school dials though. Those look cool. Airbag on there, sunroof. Let's have a look at it from the back. Every time I see this car, I think it's nice that the badge that I put on in 2020 is still there. Clearly I did a good job, and it's nice and straight as well. I don't think this is the latest generation of Fiesta anymore. I think they've done a bit of a facelift on it in recent years. So the front end, the badge is now on the actual grille rather than on the top of the front bumper, which it is currently on this car. This had some special badges made up for it. They're blue rather than the usual blue insert and white text, or silver text. It depends what age the car is. You got some mapping on this car done by TRS Performance, Scorpion exhausts. Have a look, obviously custom plates made up. Triple R composites, side skirts, and even the front bumper as well. We'll just have a quick look around at that whilst this BMW is reversing in. So yeah, the newer ones, badges are on there and the grille's a bit bigger, whereas on this one, up here. But yeah, 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine. This car's been unlocked. When it's idling, I think it can drop down to 2 cylinders to save a bit of fuel. Which is quite good in the modern climate with the fuel prices as they currently are. Yes, little spoiler lip on there, looking good. Mazda MX-5, this will be the first generation with what looks to be LED lights. And obviously, I would imagine quite a lot of work under here. Silicon hosing, good idea. Can't speak highly enough of silicon hosing in the Mini, at least, after all the problems I've had with that. Woodrim steering wheel looking gorgeous. Ooh, custom switch ports by the looks of it, and Pioneer aftermarket stereo. Roll hoop as well, clearly been made for a bit of sporty performance. BMW 1 Series. Is it an M? It is an M. Carbon fibre rear diffuser, Remus exhaust. They're on Team German, evidently, of what I can only assume to be German versus Jap. Carbon fibre door mirror caps, part of the Goodwood Road Racing Club. Oh, hello, what's this? Love it. Ford Ranger XLT. Looks to be J-Reg, so 1990, 91, 92-ish. Sorry, not 1990. Be 91, 92-ish. A little bit of rust around the arches, but really not looking bad for a pretty much 30-year-old truck. Really like that. This Renault Cleo we saw last time. It's an RS line, 1.3 litre turbo engine. Have a look in here, it's got flappy paddles because Renault these days insist on making flappy paddle semi-autos rather than full-on automatic or manuals. Celebrating the French car. But yes, we saw this car here last time. That really is a tasty truck. I quite like that. Vauxhall Adam. I think this is the Jam spec. Hopefully not too sticky in there. Actually quite a good looking little car. Really like it myself. In fact, actually, I think the boot is a tiny bit more practical in this. They've made a slightly better use of the rear space in there. If you have a look, that is typically Fiat 500 in there, other than the gear stick placement, because of course it's a bit more van-like in the 500 and the Panda and other cars on that platform. But yeah, on here it's actually mounted on the floor, which is a little bit different. Let's have a look around at the dials. Good looking little thing. VW Schirrocko. These things obviously quite commonly modified. They've removed their rear wiper. Hatch hoons. Again, a good looking car based on the VW Golf platform with this. But obviously a bit more of a stylish car to the Golf. At least that's what the original Schirrocko was all about. So I'd imagine this follows in a very similar vein. Good looking car though. Massive rear spoiler. It's obviously aftermarket being carbon fibre. I don't think it would have come from the factory with this. But yeah, these cars very, very popular these days. Focus ST Mark III. Pretty sure the engine in this is considerably larger than the Fiesta. I think it's a 2 litre in this. They've got Scooby-Doo in the front, so either they're a fan of Scooby-Doo or Subarus, because of course lots of Subarus have a Scooby plush in them. Got all the little dials telling you about the turbo and boost and bar and everything else like that, so everything you possibly need. A very practical, a very fast wagon. Obviously not in this state, but hatchback. It does its job nicely. But next to it, probably the highlight of this event, at least to many people, Volkswagen Beetle. What is there to say about this? Classic vehicle. It's in 1961, it would seem. They got a German little plate on there. Loving that. Rear window louver. Roof rack. Just look at the interior though. This has clearly had a lot of time and probably quite a lot of money spent on it as well. They've got a little basket there for cleaning things to keep this car clean. Got a dog basket, and I imagine that's the gear linkage tunnel. Loving the basket underneath there though. Look at that. But yes, this thing been drawing a lot of attention here today. Street machine, low and slow. It's really the only way to drive a car like this, isn't it? Oh, I've only just noticed the little handles. Look at those. Dinky mirrors, of course, rear engine. I think it's a 1300 in this. Nope, I shall correct myself, it's a 1.2. Nonetheless though, I imagine it's still pretty pokey. If we have a look here, number plate bolts, they got little caps on. I imagine these are probably tyre valve caps, but they've put obviously bolts in instead for the number plate, of course. Either way, fits very, very nicely. Next to the Beetle though, something else that is just as special, well, looks to be a Mazda RX-7 convertible. These are extremely rare, and look, there's a cat. Hello, cat. Said hello back. The cat doesn't have a tail. Oh, poor cat. Anyway, back to the cars. Little speakers mounted in the door cards. Of course, these are a bit different to the later Mazda RX-7s, which I'm sure many are familiar with through the Fast and the Furious franchise. The wheels look great. Pop-up headlights, of course, those will never not be cool. Mazda logo etched into the front bumper rather than being a separate badge. Bonnet vent. But yeah, these things are exceptionally rare. They really don't come up that often. I mean, this generation of RX-7 doesn't come up at all anyway, as a coupe, let alone as a roadster. And down here we've got a collection of 3 Fiesta STs. And this sounds like a few bikes coming down. Yes, Fiesta ST, I'll talk about these as a collective. 1.6 litre engine. Oh, this is interesting. We shall get onto this in a moment. Yes, as there's 3 of them cars here. There were, I think, 3 different specs for these. You had ST1, ST2 and ST3. It was fairly well laid out with it, fairly simple and easy to understand. Mountune tuned, because of course Mountune, essentially the Cosworth of today's Ford scene. So Ford fully support Mountune's modifications to their cars, and they still cover them. That was loud. But yeah, they still cover the modifications done by Mountune, as long as they are Mountune parts and fitted by Mountune under the Ford warranty from factory. So if your car's under warranty, get Mountune bits if you want to go a bit quicker. This one's got what looks to be an aftermarket front lip, ST badging in black, sparkly paint as well. Possibly an aftermarket spoiler, I'm not sure. I don't think it actually is now I think about it. No, it's just got this on it, which makes it look more aftermarket. Who's that by? Maxton Design. More you know. Just for notes, Mini Cooper over there with no front bumper. On to the final section of the show then. A 2010 BMW. It's got an aftermarket rear spoiler, large exhausts, shark fin aerial, of course, carbon fibre cap door mirrors, which I guess provide a bit of extra aerodynamic use, given the slight gap there. Have a look. Flappy paddles on it, automatic. Oh, I like the cup holder, or can holder in this case. Yeah, that's different. Nissan 350Z, large exhaust pipes on this, diffuser. Quite heavily modified cars, plenty of stickering going on. Aftermarket gear knob is quite different. I imagine this car would be good for getting sideways. Yeah, another car actually, they'll be quite good at getting sideways. In fact, all 3 of these are, so we should call this drift corner. Ford Mondeo, I think this is a Mark III. A quick look around it. Ooh, liking the badging on this. That looks good. 200 brake horsepower. I don't know whether that's a standard or whether this has been modified. If memory serves correctly, I think this actually belongs to Tom, who's Abarth. We've driven on the channel. I think this belongs to his dad, and that's the vehicle they've come on down in today. Well, hoping to catch up with Tom a bit about his Abarth, because he's done a few more things to it since we last saw him and since I reviewed his car later last year. But sadly the Abarth is not in top condition at the minute, but hopefully we'll be seeing that soon at Beauty, so hopefully catch up with him then about that. Another Fiesta ST. This has had a bit of vinyl put around here just to give it a bit more of a depthy look, I guess. Aftermarket rear tail lights, side stripe, ST badging. And this I think is unusual, because you really don't see many of them here in the UK at least. But it's a Fiesta ST. This is the 3 spec, and it's a 5-door. Usually here in the UK the Fiesta ST is a 3-door, but no, this one's 5, and that makes it quite unusual here, at least in the UK. On the Forza Horizon games and Forza Motorsport, which I play fairly frequently, you see the 5 doors everywhere, because of course that's the car they got in the US market. But over here, no, we got the slightly more sporty looking 3-door. I think the 5 doors is a good improvement to bring to the UK actually, because it means that families who maybe wanted a bit more performance from a small car but wanted the 5 doors, they now have that option as well as a 3-door. Fantastic idea. Let's bring this video to a bit of a close then with these 2 cars. This apparently is an Austin. Looks like it's got an external fuel tank. Noisy bikes are on their way out. Look at that dashboard, looks to be custom painted. The steering wheel, seat coverings. It's obviously had the roof chopped. It wouldn't have been as low as this from factory, I'd imagine. The original fuel filler, obviously indicators. This might have had trafficators when it was new. I'm not sure, that or you just had to have stuck your hand out the window to indicate which way you're going. The long gear shift Oh, look at that. It's so back to basics this, but I absolutely love it. There's the choke cable just hidden away down there. V8 engine as well. Electric fan and a klaxon horn. Tiny door mirrors, really, when you think about the size of the car. Chunky 15-inch alloys, steels. So I'm getting excited over this. Yeah, same size rims as the ones I've got on my Fiat Panda, but the tyres are a lot more chunky. And finally, the Ford Ranger we saw pulling into the show earlier on. It is a 1992 car. It says here on the number plate, which is obviously typically American. Just have a look. It's an XLT spec. Left-hand drive, so an import clearly. Got a little sunshade thing up there with lights as well.
They're quite rare, haven't they? They never took off, did they? No. They look quite nice, didn't they? Got tin top and all that. Yeah. You think that's an
You can't not like an American pickup, can you really? So yes, this has been the Driven 24/7 social meet here at Rivo's hub today. And what a turnout it's been. So the cars are clearing out, everybody's tidying up, and that brings an end to our show walk around. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, let me know what was your favourite car here at the social today. And of course, if you want to see more car-based content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more coming, it's not going anywhere. Anyway, I've been Jake for Fuel Power. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, farewell. Hello, cat. Said hello back.